pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. The first item on the agenda is a public hearing to consider a zone change for 125 Elwood Davis Road. We will open, if there's a motion in a second, we will open this public hearing. But before we do that, I do want to make the public aware, as well as the board members, that we will keep this public hearing open until our next board meeting for two reasons. One of them being we're still waiting to hear back from the county planning in regards to the zone change. And secondly, I have asked the owners who are requesting the zone change to come with potential renderings of what they would like to see at the site before we actually vote on the zone change. I have had conversations with them regarding it, but I would like them to come and publicly show that. So with that, is there a motion to open the public hearing to consider the zone change for 125 Elwood Davis Road? Motion. There's a motion, is there a second? All in favor, please say aye. Aye. All right, the public hearing is open. Is there anybody wishing to speak?
Yes, that is Suzanne Slack.
Suzanne, you get 3 minutes. If you don't mind, please saying your address and association if you're with a business as well.
Sure, thank you.
Absolutely, right here, right up.
I'm Suzanne Slack. I actually work for OCM BOCES and the Assistant Superintendent for Administration. Our building is right across the street from 125, so we just wanted to see what the renderings were and what the planning is. The road that comes from 7th North Street down to Elwood Davis is actually a road that we own and we maintain, so we are a little bit concerned about a change in the traffic pattern or traffic flow and what additional foot traffic might look like in that area.
What'd you say your title was?
Assistant Superintendent for Administration.
Okay. I will just make one comment to that. We are doing multiple planning programs right now, one of them being a comprehensive plan. Another one actually is called the Local Waterfront Revitalization Plan. I know 7th North Street is a little bit further away from the waterfront, but it actually falls within the waterfront district. It may be worthwhile for you folks and my office to get together to kind of go over some of the preliminary drafts regarding planning in that area, as well as some of what the county DOT has planned for that area as well.
Okay.
Because I think there are some significant proposals that could have impact in the future. I can posit it, but I think your feedback should be part of that. So if you don't mind, actually right now or afterwards, if you're willing to stay, just providing like a email or a phone number with my town clerk, so that way we can reach out to you and set something up.
That'd be great. Thank you very
Did you,
much.
when she signed in, did she provide that?
This might address.
Okay, yeah, let's try to set something up so that way I can talk to you guys. We would actually, with what you guys do, we would like your input on that, okay?
Okay, thank you very
Yeah.
much.
Is there anybody else signed up? You're more than welcome. There's none. Are there any board comments? Alright, we're gonna keep this public hearing open. Joe, is that fine?
That's fine, yeah.
Okay, we'll keep this public hearing open, until our next board meeting. We're gonna have the next one is a motion for a public hearing on a local law creating a four-way stop sign at the intersection of Roxborough Road and Bernard Street. Is there a motion? Motion. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Alright, public hearing is now open. Anybody signed up to speak?
Yes, they remember.
Again, 3 minutes, provide your address and business association.
Yes, so, Matt Irwin, Facilities Director for the North Syracuse Central School District, 5520 East Staff Road. We want to, number one, thank you for considering this. If you don't already know, the North Syracuse School District is leasing St. Margaret's School. We're doing that to support Lakeshore Elementary during construction, and we do expect to be doing construction on Roxborough Elementary and Cicero Elementary in the future as well. So this is probably going to be a longer-term solution for us. And we also have Roxborough Middle and Roxborough Elementary at the end of the street, down Bernard Street. So since we first envisioned this need, we had a major accident at the intersection, and the car was actually flipped over. So we really think it's very important to slow traffic down on Bernard Street, both for school buses and for student safety.
I'm gonna just make one comment to it. I appreciate you speaking on this. I actually appreciate this coming in front of the board. I think this was probably something that was going to happen regardless. You guys just came a little bit quicker than the board was able to act. So I appreciate that with obviously the community center that we're building directly in front of the elementary and middle school, and hopefully the potential development in the properties surrounding it. We are looking at quite a big difference in that area, so I think this only makes sense. I'm supportive of it, and I think the rest of the board is. So, but this is a good, productive development for the future for that little area in Mattydale.
Thank you for your support.
Yeah. Are there anybody? No one else? Is there anybody willing or wishing to speak on that? Are there any board comments? Seeing none, Joe, are we prepared to vote on this?
Yes.
All right. Do we have a motion to close the public hearing? We have a motion. Do we have a second? We have a second. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. All right. With that, we will vote. Is there a motion to create a four-way stop sign at the intersection of Roxborough Road and Bernard Street? There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
There's a second. Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Doss?
Aye.
Counselor Hall?
Yes.
Counselor Carter?
Yes.
Supervisor Fair?
Yes. All right. Residents wishing to speak. Anybody sign up? 3 minutes. Address.
Right.
Thank you.
Hi, Ned.
Hello.
Heather White, 7070 Buckley Road. So today I found myself, I had a photographer from the Post Standard and Syracuse.com at my house this morning, and I found myself running some Instacarts, because that's what I do while I grow my business. And then he called me, he needed to come back, thought of another photo idea, and then I was like rushing around, I was like, what am I gonna write for this meeting? But I didn't write anything. So what I'm doing today is I'm missing my son's first baseball game, but my husband is his coach, so we're always present. This is my 4-year-old autistic son behind me. So what I'm here to do today is to compare apples and oranges. You've probably never had apples and oranges compared to you at a town select board meeting, but it came to me as I was sitting here. Me wanting to own backyard chickens, people say, ew, they're nasty, they're smelly, they bring disease, there's irresponsible pet owners, all of these concerns I have with scientific evidence, and I hope that you've been able to fact check me, proved wrong. The thing is, another thing with children, you can see a 4-year-old child on a Nintendo Switch or on a tablet and think that I'm a bad mom or an irresponsible parent, or I'm letting electronics raise my child. And those are things that many people see. But the thing is video games, this isn't a lot. It is what is immersive to him. It provides problem-solving skills. He actually uses them in therapy as well. Animals are fantastic for therapy. They provide an immersive experience, and they're different and engaging every single time you're with an animal. You know that if you're an animal owner of any pet. So the apples and oranges I'm comparing is just because something is weird to you doesn't make it wrong. You may not know what somebody has going on in their life or why they want to go a certain direction with their life. You cannot blame any responsible pet owner in the future for an irresponsible pet owner. You cannot look at any mother and shame her for how another mother has acted beforehand. Those are the apples and oranges, and that's all I have to say today. The only reason I did lie to you guys last time I saw you, the only reason why I'm not giving you my petition today is because there's over 30,000 residents in the town of Salina. And I'm not comfortable with 1,000. I'm 60 signatures short between online and my in-person. I'm going over 1,000. I will see you in 4 weeks with my petition.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
I would like to bring one thing to your attention on your crusade for this. My office has reached out to the SPCA, who handles our animal control dog and cat, and they don't take kitchen or they don't take
They don't take
chickens. They don't take chickens or careful, which is a concern of mine. And I think it's more of a logistical one, and I hope you can understand that. So what I would like, if you don't mind, is reaching out to them and maybe potentially trying to bridge a gap.
What about farms?
What do you mean about that?
There's poultry farms too that can take aggressive chickens.
Yeah.
There is
So we have
farms
a-
that will take chickens that can't be housed in any other area because obviously it's a safety concern, you know what I mean?
Which I'm super appreciative of. I'm looking at, obviously, at my attorney with that, just because there's a legal aspect to it. We have a contract with the SPCA. Maybe it's something that we could explore separately. So maybe the town, from the town's perspective, we will look at that potential type of interaction if there's issues. But, and then from your side, maybe you could reach out to the SPCA as well.
Yeah,
And see if you can.
I'll do whatever you want me to.
We're having a conversation here at the town level, and I think it's just important to make sure that the third party who we're contracted with is part of this conversation. So I would just ask you if you maybe start conversations with them
Absolutely.
regarding it, because it would take a significant burden off of the town, seeing how they're the ones when we have issues with dogs or cats, they're the ones who we call to take care of that. So, but I think from the town side, maybe we can look at farms from that perspective.
I'm beyond grateful for that feedback, like you have no idea. I needed that.
Yeah.
I do have one question as well. I'm missing the beginning of my son's baseball game. If I step out early, will anybody look bad on me? Cause I
No,
was
you're fine.
sleeping.
You spoke. You did. Yeah, you're really okay. You should go.
I wanna
You
see
should
you.
go to that. We have business. We have business on the rest of this.
I'm
so
doing
don't
this
worry.
for more people than just me.
Yeah, no, you were completely okay. I'm happy you came. Like I said, I wanted to make sure I gave you the feedback that we've been exploring from the town side since our last conversation. So I think we'll continue to move through this, and like I said, there's just logistical questions that I have from the town's perspective. Okay. Okay. It was good to see you again.
Always good to see you.
All right. Is there anybody signed up? Anybody else signed up?
Yep, I've got Lee to sign.
We're gonna go to Oz for a minute. Okay, Kathleen Duchenne, Central New York Healthcare Benefits Bond Historian, executor of the Lyman Frank Bond Foundation, 8059 Kirkville Road, that's my address. Okay, I hope I'm coming with some good news. Last Tuesday, at 11 o'clock, Daniel Cicerelli set up a meeting with Steve Thomas from the construction company. We met on the site, we actually saw some of the rooms that were phenomenal already. And we talked with Mr. Thomas, and he had other things he had to talk about. I don't know exactly what that was, but when we came to the museum, we explained what was going on, and Mr. Thomas said to us, what we're gonna do is we're gonna finish the building. Downstairs will be ready. Upstairs, no ceiling, no floor, but all the walls will be done. When the key is turned over to the town of Salina, he and his company, whoever, how many people he has, are coming to build the upstairs, and it will be ready in December. I am extremely grateful to this man because he understood what was going on and the extremely large amount of money that for a very small space. I believe that CNS is no longer involved in this. The job will be finished. And then again, as I said, Mr. Thomas will come in with his men and they will finish the job. And we told him that we appreciated his generosity. We would put a plaque on the wall for him and his company. We will be talking to each other in the next few months. And again, we are very grateful to him. And we wanted to pass this information on to you to tell you what it is they're doing. I'm done. Okay? Thank you. I do things very quick.
Go ahead.
Could I just make a comment in responding to her?
If you don't mind coming up.
No, I don't, it's set up.
I'm sorry.
That's
Go ahead.
Denise Andrevet, 128 Hampton Drive, Lakewood. I'm a retired pre-K special ed teacher. And one of the key events in my classroom life was when I did a unit on Henny Penny, and a good friend of mine who has chickens would bring her most friendly chicken into the classroom for the experience for the children. It was particularly profound for the children on the autism spectrum and other developmental delays. It was an experience that my parents had never had before. Changed all their lives with careful watchfulness. This is a very good experience for children and families.
Thank you. Okay. Anybody else?
I have Alan
3 minutes and your address, please.
Mullen, 109 Richfield Boulevard. Just a few things. I'm not sure, it's on the anti-nepotism law. I'm not sure why this item has been on for 5 consecutive agendas. There are no local town boards that have this as well as the county. So this means if I was related to one member of the town board, I couldn't run if I lived in another ward. This amendment is telling voters that they can't make decisions on their own. I believe in fair and free elections. On the community center, back on January 13th, you said that the town is looking into recouping money from the original contract that covered the unsustainable soil removal. Did we recoup any money, and if not, what is the process to recoup it? That is it.
Thank you.
You are welcome.
Anybody else?
Yes, I am Karen Seaver.
Hi, my name is Erin Seabrook. I reside at 225 Maple Lane. And I'm going to piggyback the backyard chickens. I just wanted to start by saying I completely agree with everything that these ladies are saying. It has also done wonders not only for, my children. We came out of a nasty, nasty divorce. And we had some chickens prior. And it really, really helped my 2 teenage boys. Not to mention we could really use I buy probably 3 dozen eggs every week. They're all about protein. And I, as a single mom, I work 12 hours a day, six days a week. So having backyard chickens would greatly benefit me, as well as the therapeutic and stress relief, going along with that. Again, it helps my grandparents. My grandmother is no longer with us with dementia. Loved the whole experience, wanted to hold the chickens. Same with my 88-year-old grandfather. I understand, this is my first meeting, so I apologize if I'm a little out of sorts. I understand, I don't wanna sit here and say everything that everyone has probably already told you before. Pest control, organic fertilizer, these are all things that you've probably heard before. People worry about predators coming into, the rural neighborhoods with, but then again, we have Micron and all this new construction going up. I watched JWD construction going up on the corner of Morgan Road and Henry Clay. That was all in a wooded area. I'm watching hawks fly over my house every day. There's foxes. I live right down by, the old Hinterwaddle's house. There's predators being pushed out of their environments as it is. So to say, to be discriminated against chickens would bring, predators into people's backyards. Also, I find, chickens, where do I go from here? And same with the birds, disease control and the bird flu. I just feel, as chickens, birds fly around and poop all over, and geese, whatever, every day. I don't even know if I'm making sense right now. But then again, it's, with having a limit, I understand, like, they can be monitored. They can be, if we need a permit for them, that's fine. If we're not allowed to have roosters, that's fine. But, these chickens would be monitored in a controlled environment, like for me, in my fenced-in backyard, in a fenced-in run. So that's how we would do it, and I understand there's people out there that would take, full advantage of it and have like 30 chickens. Understand that completely. But again, it is good for children, education. It was amazing for my kids, waking up every morning, giving them something to do to get out of bed so they're not gaming 24/7, bringing the community together. People at work, they're like, oh, I have eggs, neighbors, everything. I know I've talked to all my neighbors about it. They would love to have, it's brought so much camaraderie, even just talking about, this situation. Again, I said save money. They're really cool animals. Like, they are really, did you know that they dream when they sleep? Like, they're actually really cool, fun animals. Like, I would love to wake up in the morning back, when I had them, and I would have my coffee, and it was just very, very peaceful. Again, like, people are allowed to have, 100 cats around their house, outdoor cats. They run and pee and poop and spray and everybody all over everybody's lawn. Again, the chickens would be controlled. People are allowed to have spiders, venomous spiders and snakes as pets inside their house, but we're not allowed to have, be allowed to have our chickens that are multi-beneficial, in our own yard. And,
We're at 3 minutes, sorry.
okay, and then one last thing, CNY Poultry will take any chickens that are roosters,
You
chickens,
said
anything
CNY
like-
Poultry?
CNY Poultry.
Can you write that down for me?
Yes, yep,
Oh.
and there's a lot of, Central New York poultry, I'm sorry, and there's lots of local people on Facebook, millions of Facebook groups that are all,
Paula, what's the limit on
Networking.
dogs and cats? 3?
3.
And for cats as well? Let's go. Can you, get that answer for me this week? You did fantastic, by the way.
You did great.
Yeah, you did fantastic, yeah. I'll give you that. Is there anybody else that wants to speak? I have one question for you both, for you primarily. If there was a limitation on the number of chickens, is that a problem?
No, not at all. I think there should be guidelines. I think that especially in an urban area as opposed to rural. He was so close. I think that's the difference between urban and rural. I do believe that there should be. I know you did a wonderful job, though. We can try again. Breathe. I think that there should be spatial requirements. I think that there should be enclosure requirements. I think that there should be permitting. I think it should be up to the landowner. If somebody rents, obviously, same thing with dogs and cats. All of these things should be in a permitting process.
Have
By
you
the way, Fayetteville has a great
Have you
permitting
spoken, with our codes task force?
I have not.
Once we get your petition, we should probably start you with our codes
I'm
task force.
66 signatures short of 1K, but I'm not stopping.
We're at your timeline before we actually begin this process.
I'm steadfast.
But when we have it, I think we should refer it first to the codes task force, because again, I brought up just logistical things, that's where my office handles it. It's not as black and white, it's just allowing an animal or not allowing an animal, it's all about the processes dealing with it. So I think we should start with that, and we could go from there.
I mean, I will say before I leave, I've never met a group of people and it's not just because you're on the town board, everybody can say I'm just saying this, but that's actually willing to look at me and willing to listen, even if you don't agree. And you're incredibly intelligent people, so I thank you for that. I mean that.
I personally appreciate that feedback. We don't hear that very often.
No,
so
I
thank
mean
you
it.
so
I mean
much.
it. Like whether you disagree or agree, it means a lot to meet people who are non-biased and at least willing to listen.
Yeah.
So that means a lot. I need to go to my son's baseball.
Enjoy the game, okay? And go Salina Bombers.
Thank you. Earthquake Spices, sponsor.
That is yours, right?
That's my company.
By the way, my assistant Jody buys your stuff.
Really?
Yes, she
I work
does.
at the fairgrounds in Ann Arbor all the
She
time.
does.
Earthquake Spices, that's not tough out there. Anyway, let's go.
Take care. Have fun. Good luck on your game.
Thank you so much. Bye.
All right. Is
This is
anybody?
Jackson, by the way.
Jackson,
say
good
bye.
Oh, he just wants to win. All right. Is there anybody else signed up to speak? Let's start with first ward comments.
Nothing.
Second ward comments.
Large item pickup for Ward 2 is 5.5 and 6.9.
That's good. No one's here from the third ward, so fourth ward.
I'd just like to observe a moment of silence to honor Joe Ginta, past president and lifetime member of the Lake Court Fire Department, whose unwavering dedication served as a wedge to strengthen our community's safety and spirit. Thank you.
That's it. Thank you. All right. I have one important message right off the bat that's kind of late. Syracuse.com had just posted it, and I think the local news will post it as well if you're watching Channel 359, Spectrum, etc. There's been an equipment failure at Rock Cut Road transfer station that could potentially cause delays for trash pickup in all of Onondaga County. The incinerator, the burner, whatever word you wanna use, is down. There's a mechanical issue. I have a voicemail, so I apologize that this is not completely put together, but this has all happened within the last hour. I have a voicemail from Syracuse Haulers. I don't know if you've spoken with them yet, so this will be good for your office for tomorrow. I have a voicemail from Syracuse Haulers. The town of Salina, pickup will happen in the town of Salina as scheduled tomorrow. The incinerator is closed, so once the trucks are full, they won't be able to continue to pick up trash. So depending on how much trash people have tomorrow, that could potentially cause an issue. So please keep that in mind. I think they will work to try to continually pick up trash as scheduled, but because of the incinerator being down, they have nowhere to bring the trash as it is. So please be patient with that. That is a county-wide problem. Trash is scheduled to be picked up as usual for tomorrow. My office is aware of it. We will be posting something on the website as well, and I believe now that the clerk's office is aware of it, they will be prepared to answer questions if people call town hall to get updates on this. I will just ask for patience with this because it's not just a specific issue to our community, it's one that the entire county will be facing. With that, I'm a little mystified that our third ward counselor is not here today. He did not inform me that he wasn't going to be here. He did fire off a bunch of emails this weekend, and I know he had a third ward community meeting recently where there was more comments that he had that he was able to say. I know Ellen, you're from the third ward and very close with the third ward counselor, and you were able to make it today. And I see that his mother was here as well as Ellen. Kathleen was here, so I'm a little confused why there wasn't communication from him on showing up or not showing up to today's meeting, but we have spoken and hopefully we answered all of his questions that he was able to pose as we go through the agenda today with the rest of the board. With that, do we have a motion to approve the April 14th, 2025 minutes?
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilor Evans?
Aye.
Councilor Paul?
Yes.
Councilor Carney?
Yes.
Supervisor Farrell?
Yes. Engineer,
I have no business to bring before the board tonight, unless there's any questions for me.
you and I took a nice trip to the landfill today.
We did take this.
All right. All right. Mr. Attorney, the first one is a resolution authorizing the town to accept CNS Engineers' proposal to perform environmental testing for certain properties under contract at Brewerton Road. Any?
Yeah, so it just makes the most sense to use CNS for this. When we put a purchase offer in for the current property where community center is going, part of the analysis here is doing an environmental review of all the surrounding properties, so they've already got a base here to start with. So from a timing standpoint and a pricing standpoint, I think CNS is the right one to go to. It's $4,500 for the environmental review.
All right. And that's within the budget that we have for the entire purchase.
Yes, exactly.
Do we have a motion?
Motion.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilor Evans?
Aye.
Councilor Paul?
Yes.
Councilor Carney?
Yes.
Supervisor Farrell?
Yes. The next item is a resolution authorizing the town supervisor to execute a master services agreement, amendment number 18, related to the Lay Creek site. There is no cost change in this, it's just a scope of work change, correct?
That's correct. Yeah, for our environmental council, that's correct.
All right. Any questions? Is there a motion?
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilor Evans?
Aye.
Councilor Paul?
Yes.
Councilor Carney?
Yes.
Supervisor Farrell?
Yes. The next is a resolution adopting a local law amending the anti-nepotism law. I believe there were some questions related to it. I think that there was a lot of questions and information that needed to be answered over the last few meetings. So with that, is
Can I
there?
just quickly add something to
Yes,
that?
of course you can.
And I think Heather said this the best, right? Is our job as a board is to do our due diligence and to listen to both sides. So I'm glad we kept it open for this long, so we could hear constituents and what they had to say, whether they're against or in favor of it.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. Are there any other comments? Is there a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Downs?
Aye.
Counselor Paul?
Yes.
Counselor Carney?
Yes.
Supervisor Farrell?
Yes. Is there anything else?
Just a supplemental agenda.
What do we have on the supplemental? Nice. Okay. Alright, this is, Alright, do we have a motion to add one item to the supplemental agenda? Do we have first a motion to bypass town board policy to add, items to the agenda after Friday?
Motion.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Alright. Now do we have a motion to add one item to the supplemental agenda?
Motion.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor, please say aye. The item is a resolution authorizing the town to accept Integra Realty Resources proposal to perform appraisals for certain properties under contract at Brewerton Road. Joe, would you like to provide any other input with that?
Sure, I reached out to a few appraisers, Integra was the only one that got back to me in a short time frame. So what we're doing here is we're doing the responsible thing, which is looking at these properties and getting them appraised by somebody independent, separate from the town, to justify what we're paying for these properties. This Integra Realty Resources game, highly recommended from a few other real estate attorneys that I've spoken to. The price for doing this is $2,500 for the former Pizza Hut property, and then $2,900 for the former Big Lots property. He said the company could get this back to us in 3 weeks.
Yeah, there was a demand by the third ward counselor that there was an assurance that he'd be able to get this done in immediately 3 weeks that he had sent over the weekend. Joe, you worked extremely hard to make sure that that was put in the contract. The individual, Integra Realty, provided that as well. So I really wish that the third ward counselor would have shown up today with that, seeing how he was so concerned with this stuff. But I appreciate the diligence that you put into this, Joe. With that, is there a motion?
Motion.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second. I was like, I wasn't sure you said.
Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Downs?
Aye.
Counselor Paul?
Yes.
Counselor Carney?
I want to say, yes, this is to ask you, this is the Big Lots property, there's all the properties that we have in our contract.
Yeah, it's all the contracts on the property.
Yes.
Supervisor Farrell?
Yes. There was, one last announcement I would like to say that I had forgotten. We have posted a position for the Director of Recreation. It's on LinkedIn and other sites or sources. We are hoping to hire that soon. The job does entail building out an entire recreations department. So it would be starting from zero, which is extremely important that we hire somebody that has extensive experience with recreation in either state, city, or other municipal recreations department. But I'm excited about, we've received numerous applications. A couple of them are related with Central New York Parks and Recreation Society as well, which is important. So hopefully we will be having interviews on that soon. And
How long is the application posted for?
we posted it last week. Jody posted it, not you. We posted it last week. So we're gonna keep it open. I plan on starting interviews. I plan on starting interviews next week, but that doesn't mean that the application will close. And then my goal is to have a handful of individuals, hopefully, that we vet and figure, are pretty qualified, have them come in front of the board, and you all can have a chance to get familiar with them and provide input before we actually hire. The last thing I would like to say as well is we have rescheduled the next 4 months, May, June, July, and August, to the first meeting of each month. But in June, if the board was okay with it, if we could change it from the first meeting to the second meeting in June.
Sure.
And I think that might be better for you.
No.
So May, July, and August will be the first meeting, but in June it will be only the second meeting, okay? All right. With that, do we have a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Thank you so much, everybody.